Hey, what's going on out there? This is the VG Pierce. I'll be coming at you with a beginner's guide to Rimworld. So if you guys had just purchased this game and maybe played a couple of games here and there and absolutely got wrecked doing so, then hopefully this will help you out and begin in a great manner and start off with a wonderful adventure. First thing to note though, make sure you get into options and change the temperature mode to whatever you're comfortable with. I believe the default is Celsius, but I am going to be playing on Fahrenheit. The next thing to note as well is that I'm going to play this game without any mods, and that's just for clarity, but there are some really good mods out there, so check it out whenever you have a chance. And we're going to start this puppy up right now. Get to the new colony, and I'm just going to explain the crash landed, where you start off with 3 survivors. I'm not going to talk about the rich explorer or the lost tribe at all, so let's go ahead and hit the next. Now, if you are going to be a new beginner to this game, I recommend you go to the base builder one. That will give you just enough challenge, but you'll be able to experience this game for a good bit before losing it. But if you're like me and like a little bit more of a challenge, then start off on rough because it's still going to be a very challenging game. But I did try this on challenge mode to start off with, and I have to say that within about 30 minutes, I usually lose. I usually end up losing. So just go ahead and put it on the rough mode if you do like it a little bit more difficult. And permadeath mode is up to you, really. I mean, I like it, so I'm just going to turn it on for this here. Now, since you're going to be beginning this game, it doesn't matter what the hell seed you get, but just make sure you take note of what you are going to be playing, because if you do die, and when you do die, then at least you say, okay, you know what, I played this seed before, and so I can just change it out. So I'm going to play with Parka. Size is fine, 200 by 150. Let's go ahead and generate the map. The first thing you want to do is make sure that you're going to be in a light green area. Do not start off in the desert. Don't start off in the tundra. Don't start off even in the ice sheet. Start off in the temperate forest, okay? And the reason being is so that you have access to a lot of trees and you can cut it down and you'll have wood whenever you need it. You don't have to wait for somebody to come trade with you. You can also start off with the tropical rainforest, but that does mean that it's going to rain a little bit more often than not, and then your solar power cells won't be able to charge up as much as normal. Next thing to note is that you want to make sure that you're going to start off in a good terrain, which is large hills. You can start off with small hills, but that does mean that you won't have too much access to steel and marble and things like that to help you out in the later stages of the game, and you'll have lots of minerals to choose from. So definitely start off with large hills. You can start with mountainous, but the problem with mountainous is that means you're gonna have somebody with really high mining skill, and mining takes a good long bit in this game. And when you're just starting out, you want to make sure that you're not too busy digging. And the last thing to note is that your growing period, make sure that you choose a year-round growing period, because if you have to think about 6th of spring to 6th of fall, that's right, and if you're a beginner, you're not going to really understand too much of what that means there. So make sure you go with the year-round. That way you don't have to think about it. Whatever the heck you grow, it's just going to grow. Alright, so the next thing you want to note is that you want to make sure is that you have a sandstone type of at least granite or marble. And you want to have either of those things, because granite is really a tough material and you can make some pretty good walls out of it. And marble is so that when you build stuff and some artistic work, then they'll love you a lot better and it's going to be worth a whole lot more. But it's not extremely important, but having granite and marble, that's choice. But I would definitely choose either granite or marble to start off with. So here we're going to have granite year-round, large hills, temperate forest. And then the last thing to note is that, okay, when you are settling on a position, make sure that you start off in an area that is close to these friendly green dots. You definitely don't want to start off with places that have the enemy red dots, because the closer you are to them, then the more raids you'll probably see from those guys. So definitely start off closer to a green dot. And I have everything I want. I'm starting next to a green dot. Growing period year round. I have sandstone, slate, and granite. And rainfall is fine. Average temperature 79 degrees. In the 70s is great. Wintertime 51 degrees. A little bit cooler than I like, but that's okay. So the average temperature is 65 degrees. Temperate forest. Let's go ahead and begin it up. Next thing you want to do is make sure that you start off with these 3 colonists, and you have to make sure that the construction and the growing are on 2 separate people. The reason why is because in the beginning of the game, you have to build everything from scratch, and you want to make sure that the person constructing is separate from the guy who's growing the crops, because you want to make sure the crops are growing straight away, and also when you're constructing buildings that you're doing that straight away as well. So these 2 skills has to be separate from one another. On top of that, you want to make sure that you are avoiding anyone with dumb labor or skilled labor or incapable of doing those things, because dumb labor, then they won't haul and things like that, and you think that's not a big deal, but it really is. You want to make sure that everybody can haul, because you never know, because that person might be closest, and you want to make sure that they can, you know, move a body or something like that, or move the rock that's annoyingly in your way. So definitely make sure that they are capable of dumb labor or skilled labor. Now, skilled labor is kind of apparent because then they'll be missing a whole bunch of these things. You won't be able to do any of that stuff. So those are the two things you definitely do not want to have in your traits. I'm going to briefly look over these things here. Now, of course, these fiery symbols mean that they learn at 150% rate, and then a single one means they just learn at 100, and then one without it is just a normal learning rate of 33%. Definitely the more of fires that they have, then the better. Alright, and so I need to change out these two guys right there. So let's go ahead and do that. So the first thing I want to look for is having somebody with construction, and then somebody that's good with shooting and or melee. Now, when you are beginning this game, you're going to have 2 guns and a melee weapon to start off with. So in that way, you need to make sure that 2 guys can shoot and 1 guy can melee, especially at the beginning of this game. So I'm looking for somebody that can construct or grow with a high shooting or melee. And then when I say high, I mean double digits high. Or has these fiery burning symbols, just like that. And so look at this, shooting's at 6, which is okay, I'll take that. But the growing is pretty high and mining is pretty good stuff. And he does have ascetic, so he likes to be living in poor conditions. That's great, that's great. And a hard worker, I love that. 20% global work speed, I don't care about the artistic. So this guy is great. So this is going to be my grower right there. And then the next one here. Okay, construction. We're going to make sure that, well, we're going to change this one up here. So make sure the construction is high, and then make sure that they have good melee. So here, the construction is only at 7, but there, the burning here is at the double, and they're going to be constructing a lot, but dumb labor, so we're going to just switch that out. Construction, come on, construction. Come on, baby, let's get up there. Or either that or have the burning signs. That's really good stuff. Ooh, look at this person here. High construction, good at shooting. Oh man, incapable of scary, but I don't care about that. Steadfast, so -9 in mental break threshold. And then a psychopath. I love that because then you can do anything you want and her mood's not affected. But asthma, oh, bad bag. This is the kind of the last thing you want to look at. Make sure you don't have any too much of a health problem, but look at this asthma. You know, you just need to make sure you have medicine all the time with the bad back, and affects the moving, so they won't be as fast. But look at all the great stuff. Look at all the fiery symbols that she has. Oh, construction and mining's high. I'm gonna keep her. I don't care. So next thing here is gotta make sure that I have somebody that's high in the melee here. So I think this person didn't have any choice there. Alright, so this one's so the last thing I want to make sure is make sure you have somebody that has high medicine there. Any one of them can have it, but having a third person separate from it would be choice, because then you can continue on doing whatever. Alright, look at that. So 15 in melee, 9 in medicine, and dislikes men. I don't care about that. It's pretty, so who cares about that? That means that she's going to rebuff every man that's going to talk to her, but I don't care. Mental break threshold, though, is at +12, but she learns at a much faster pace there, 88%. Oh boy, you know, just for the sake of going on. Oh look, actually starts off with a lover, Chico, which is great actually. All right, so this is but dislikes men. She actually could break up with him pretty quick. So, it pains me to do it, but I got to. Yes, we gotta change it. Okay, it's just too many negatives there. You don't want to have somebody that's getting rebuffed all of the time. Okay, so medicine's not guy. Since I'm looking for a melee, you really want to have this brawler trait, which will give him a really high melee hit chance, which is perfect. Absolutely perfect. Okay, good at melee. We need somebody with medicine. Alright, there we go. Oh, good melee. Oh, look at that. So burning passion for them. Good and growing. Slothful, though, so slow in the working, but... Oh boy, mine is psychically out of tune though, so that's good. Alright, for the sake of starting it up, let's go ahead and just start this puppy up. You can rename your characters if you like, but I'm not going to get too much into that because I really want to begin this game up and show you guys the beginning. Now, when you're going to begin in this game, they're going to start off and then you can press the space bar and then pause everything. The first thing you're going to note is that all the items are forbidden, so you want to make sure that you highlight all your items and then unforbid it. Like so. So I'm highlighting them, pressing F. And then the next thing you want to note is that you want to look very closely around them for anything that it has materials such as the steel and then the wood as well, so that you can have all the good materials for your guys. After that, you go and look around the map real quick and make sure there aren't any forbidden items around the map so that you can pick that up and use it. Now you're probably going to miss it here and there. You can't help it. Your eyes can only see so much, but just take a quick look at the map and make sure that all of the forbidden materials are unforbidden so that your guys will go and pick it up and then you can use it straight away. So that's what I'm doing, looking around here, just looking for forbidden stuff so that I can have my way to it. Okay, look at that, a whole bunch of meals there that was forbidden there to the bottom right. Okay, so then next thing to do is you want to zoom out and you want to just take a real good look at the landscape and where you're going to start off with. Now you never want to start off too close to the corners, because when they pop up, then they'll pop up. They may pop up right next to you, and then you won't have any time to prepare. So the best place to start off is actually in the center. Now you can start off in the side if you do find that there are some pretty good areas, but at these sides you cannot build in a little bit of a... You can't build to the corners there, so you can't close it off or anything like that. But here, actually, the middle is really good, actually. So this is pretty good stuff. And also, to just the north of here, they got some really good rich soil. So next thing you want to do is that, okay, so this plot, I'm thinking about starting here and zoom out, and you can actually see the rich soil here because they're kind of darkened out when you are away. Now when you're close, it's a little bit harder to see. You can still see it, but it's just better to zoom out and see where the rich soil are so you can go and grow the things that you need in a faster pace. And actually they have a little bit of a rich soil here in the center, but this is where I really want to start growing at. So I'm going to build my settlement just a little bit north of the center area, which is just fine. Lots of mountains here to block out the right side, and then I have just this area there, and I have a little building here, so I'm probably going to start building right there, smack dab in the middle here. Alright, so first thing you want to do when you do choose your place is that you want to go and zone out the area. So the first thing here is make sure that you zone out a growing zone. So since I did plot out this area to be the growing zones, then I want to make sure that I grow in said growing zone there. So about an 8x8 is good enough, but I'm gonna go for a 9x9. No, 8x8 is fine, because these are not the rich soil areas, I believe. This is regular. Alright, so this is the rich soil area, and I want to make sure that I have the corn plant. Why? Because the corn plant, they can be eaten raw, and so since this is a rich growing area and they grow best in that area, then that is perfect. Absolutely perfect for you. Rich soil. Alright, and then you want to make sure that you have at least 2 growing zones, but I'm going to make 3 just to be sure. Okay, and then this growing area will be a little bit more to the left, around right here-ish. There we go. Take advantage of all this stuff. 8x8 area right there. Okay, and then here we're going to make sure that we have a strawberry plant, and that is consumed raw as well, and they love it. Okay, so I got strawberry and corn, and then if I have a good enough grower, then I can make a heel root, which I will do. So we're going to make the 3rd plot, and that's exactly the reason why you want to have a high grower, so you can get the heel roots out. I'm going to put it over here. Alright, to get the heel roots out. Like so. Okay, and give them the heel roots, and the nice thing about the heel roots is that they are selectively bred centuries, a nickname owned, slow-growing plant which yields herbal medicine when harvested. So now you don't have to worry too much about medicine. It's just herbal medicine, but still, it's pretty good medicine. So now we're set. Okay, so we got the growing zones, and so the next part is you want to make sure you build a stockpile zone. So since I'm building a little bit here to the north, I'm just going to put it right here. Now we're going to move this a little bit later on, so 8x8 area is fine, and then a dumping stockpile zone. And you never want to put a dump too far away, so here we're going to just put it right on over here. We're just gonna put the dump over here, like that. Okay. And then after that, we got the dumping area, we got the stockpile area, we got the growing zones. We're looking good. So the next thing you want to do is make sure we have our structures planned. So you always want to build steel walls for your structures. Now, usually you want to choose the largest opening to where you put all your settlements. And so I'm going to put it to the left right there and then seal all this other stuff off with walls here. And then we're going to have a killing zone as well. So here we're going to build right there the buildings. Okay. And we actually have a building right there. So that is pretty nice. Already built one for you. Alright, actually, yeah, this is a little bit close to the left side though. Alright, so we may just go and, yeah, I'm thinking about putting it down here actually. Okay. Yeah, yes, let's do that. Yeah, I want to put it down here because I'm gonna grow this way. There we go. So we're gonna put these buildings over here. Alright, so we're gonna make the buildings. I'm gonna put the battery right there. Okay, so you want to start off with a 6, not that way, 6 by 6 area. Actually, it's like this. Oh, that's 7. Oops. Turn that off. Okay. 6. That's 5, 6. Alright. Alright, so now that's what I want right there. 6. Okay. First thing you want to do is make sure you have 4 rooms. Like that. 6 by 6. Alright, like that. And then we're going to put the doors up. Oh, look at this. I missed the steel right there. Look at that. Okay, so we're going to put the doors up. You always want to use steel doors at first, because when they come and attack you, you don't want to get busted up. So I'm going to put it facing out like this. Actually, I'm going to face it in. Cancel that. Okay, oops. Like that. Alright. 4 rooms. Okay, because you're always going to get a 4th one. You could build a 5th room, but we're going to build that on later. You want to make sure that you have your sleeping places up already. Make sure you choose wood beds now. Like so. On the inside, there we go. Alright, and then the next thing you want to do, okay, now that I've got all that up, now if I unpause it, it'll start building everything. But remember, you want to make sure that everything is done. So make sure you put it on manual priorities. Now they always do priority left to right. Higher priorities left, lower priorities to the right. Not only that, I also have a numbered priority system that is going to be in effect. Now this is going to be something that you really want to do. You don't want to just put it to where, okay, check, they do this and that. You want to do the numbers. Why? Because then you can make it to where you can change this up and you can make it to where they do what you really want them to do. First thing though, I'm going to make sure that I have my characters correct here. So Chico Lee, I think that's my grower. Yes, he is. And this is my medicine man, Delange. And then Wilson is the constructor. Okay. Yeah, so Wilson's the constructor. So we're going to take it to work here. So Wilson's my constructor. So yes, she does have that on there. And then the mining. I'm going to make sure her growing is low because we do not want her to go grow stuff when there's stuff to mine. So go and construct. We have a grower specifically for that. And so here we go, which is this person there. So we're going to go and reduce down that person. So this is my grower, Chico. And everybody needs to mine, okay? Doesn't matter if they suck at it. Everybody mines because there's no numbers. It doesn't make a difference if you mine terribly or not. Because when you mine, you just mine. It's not like when you have to construct, say, a bed or something like that and it becomes poor or excellent. It really makes a difference between a poor and excellent structure. And that's why you want to make sure you have a high construct. So here, put everybody to mine. And then I changed this to where they don't do the growing, so make sure that they don't go off and do that. And since this is my grower and this is my constructor, then I'm gonna make sure that this person dedicates themselves to hauling and cleaning. And like I said, in the beginning, this really matters a lot because they'll be like, oh, this place is dirty, and then they start losing mood for it. And this doesn't matter to research, but already has chosen the best one for you. And there we go. So he's hauling and cleaning, and then after that, we want to make sure that the plant cut is up as well, because later on that's going to make a big difference here. So we always want to make sure you have at least 2 doctors as well. So both of these doctor skills suck at 2, and so this one here is at 3. We're going to put that at 2 so that they'll do the doctor things before they do the haul and clean, and that's really important. Make sure that the bed rest is at 2 as well, because you don't want them to go haul and clean when they need to do a bed rest. Alright, and then the wardening, okay, it's great. Leave that at that. I don't have anybody with high in social, but that's okay. Next thing we want to do is make sure that they equip the right weapons. Okay, so alright, so not everybody's extremely awesome at shooting, but you want to make sure that you have your highest skill shooter on the rifle, and then your next highest shooter on the pistol, and then of course the melee person having the plastic steel knife. Alright, so let's go ahead and press play, and then I always like to put it on this right there because why not? And already they're going to start building up. I always have it on this, but for the sake of just showing you what to do, we're going to keep it on the fast forward, and I'm just going to pause it whenever I need to. And there you go. So they're constructing and also planting at the same time, and now this guy's hauling everything that you need right where you need to, so that they don't have to go very far to go and pick up the steel, pick up the wood, pick up whatever the heck they want. And this is perfect in the beginning so that they're growing and constructing everything. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is concentrate on the person who's actually doing the constructing. Make sure that you prioritize working on the beds first, because even if they don't finish building the walls and things like that, make sure that they at least are sleeping on the beds. So we're prioritizing that, creating these beds like that. And you always want to make sure that you start off with the 3. So I built my 3 beds, and now I'm good. She can do whatever she likes, and that's fine. And actually what I want to do now is I am going to set up and put some vents here. Like so. So that she's not... What the heck? She's sleeping already? You're sleeping already? Okay, why is she sleeping already? That's weird. Look, you keep going, damn it. Now you can't do the restriction there, but I mean, they should still be working. I don't understand. I don't understand why she's stopping. Oh, it's okay. Her health, that's why. So her asthma is what's slowing her down, which kind of sucks. And that's the reason why you want to make sure that their health is pretty good. Delange, stop hanging around doing nothing. Just walking around with your just pants on, with your shirt out. What the heck, man? Alright, so my constructor has asthma, and that kind of sucks, but that's okay. Like I said, I built up my rooms. I built up the beds at least so that they can go to sleep and they'll be fine coming up. Alright, so now we just go and let them work it out for themselves. And again, we're just going to check the map. Make sure that we didn't miss out on any forbidden items that might be out there that my eyes may have missed earlier. And I'm still going to plan out on what I want to do. So I'm pretty much going to stay right there. So this is going to be pretty much my homeland right there. Like this. And then, so next thing I'm going to do is probably build like a wall right there. And then maybe a killing section here. So if they come in from the north, then they're going to be going through the gauntlet, as it were. And then they can come in from the south as well. And then I'll have another section here to block off whenever they come on. Alright, so here I want to make sure that I start digging up some pretty good areas. So there's some silver ore there, that's great. And here's some compacted steel right there, right next to my settlement. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this to mine right there, like that. And the silver ore, as well as this machine ore there. That's marble right here. Oh, uranium! Okay, this is uranium. Great! So we got some uranium ore already. Sweet. Here's some steel right there as well. Oops, I accidentally hit that. Alright, so now she's done with all of her stuff, as you can see. So when she's done constructing, then she's got the full room, so I want to make a 5th room actually, because then I can make sure that I have somebody in. I can get the prisoner going. I can get the prisoner room going. Alright, so now temperature vent like that, and then the furniture, wooden bed like that, and then the doorway like that. Okay, so that's what I want. So she's done with her rooms. Get this one for a prisoner. That will come very soon. Okay, and then the next thing you want to do is make sure you get the power up. So you always want to make sure these solar generators are on the inside, because they will attack them, and that sucks. And I usually like to put it close to my buildings. Also to note, they have these shadows here. I don't know if you can see it, but you can see the shadows right there. Do not build a solar generator close to the mountainous areas, because they will not charge up very well, okay? So make sure that you have them in a good spot. Alright, so here is a good spot. Start off with 2 as well, and then we're going to build the battery into this hill right there. So that's exactly what I'm going to do, is I'm going to build a section where they come in like that, and then I'm going to build a 4x4 room so that the batteries go into there. And then it's going to come out like this. And then after that, it will go to this area here like that. So the next thing I want to do is make sure that the power is ran correctly. We're going to make sure the power is going through like this. And then this power is like that. Make sure it's all connected up. Okay, looks like he's done with all his fields. So now when he's done working on the fields and growing, then he'll help mine, which is great. So that's what I want to do, is make sure that he's mining now. And I believe he's already mined out all the areas that I told them to mine, which is wonderful. But we're going to continue on and mine out the steel right there. And the silver there. Okay. And then we're going to build up another wall if need be. Usually this whole thing is steel, so let's just preemptively do that so that we have that going for them. Alright, Chico, what are you doing, man? Meditating? Okay, that's cool. Alright, you want to make sure that you haul these things there to keep this place clutter free. All that. Okay. And then after that, they're gonna haul this out the way. Perfect. This is where I wanted them to haul the stuff. Okay, and then next thing I want to do is make a structure, the steel wall, like that. I want to make sure that this is all cut off from any real place. So next thing, I'm going to pause it real quick, and I'm going to build the batteries right here, like that. Okay. I'm going to put the power lines like that, going in like that. And oops. Okay, let's not have that. Alright, the next thing I want to do is make sure that I have my ventilation area finished off like that. Yeah, I do want to do it like this. Okay. Like that. Okay, so actually I should have went down with the power line here. Actually, it's not too late, I think. Okay, so steel wall like that, and then we're just gonna go south like that into this area. Put the air conditioner right there. Yeah, like that. Right? I put it correctly? Yeah, I did. Okay, great. Put the steel door right there. And of course it's venting out, so this is perfect. So we need defenses, we need a meal source. Okay, that's another thing we're gonna do. Make sure that we have a campfire. So they'll stop complaining about that. And then, oh yes, and the next thing you want to make sure is that, alright, now I have my solar panels up and it's looking at the sun. Make sure that you go into the area and zone out, and make sure that you expand no roof area, and then you just cover all the spaces around the solar panel without, so that they do not build a roof around your solar panel, because you know that sucks. Alright, so now he's building that out, and then the next thing we want to do is put up yet another steel door right here. As soon as that's finished mined out, it would be golden. Come on, Delange, let's go. Fix that up. Okay. It looks like we have a visitor. Sweet. They have a few items to trade. Sweet. Okay. So we have Meowski and Priscilla there. So let's go ahead and take a look at who's our best social person. Looks like it's Wilson. And Wilson actually has the burning too, but let's go ahead and trade and see what she got. Alright, so you always want to take medicine, and of course negative numbers mean that we're selling there, so okay, and positive numbers means buy. Okay, oops, so that means we're selling. That's bad. Alright, so this is us. Oh, this is us selling, sorry. Alright, so this is going to us, so make sure this is the trader and this is us, so make sure that the arrow is pointing to the direction that you want. LMG, they got some chocolates here, some simple meals, but I believe they'll go away pretty soon. Alright, so always take the medicine. We're going to accept that. Alright, so we just bought one medicine, that's all they had. That's all they had, good. Okay, and then we're going to convert that for prisoners. Alright, and then they're going to go to sleep. As soon as they finish this little area up, then we will talk about... Okay, visitors from the place is leaving. So we're going to talk about setting up for the attacks and things like that. But you definitely want to get the power up ASAP. You want to get a refrigerated section up as soon as possible as well. So these are the things that I'm going to be building up pretty soon. And we'll just go with the default. But make sure you name your city, because you know it's always more fun that way. And then we'll put a steel door right there. Like so. Yeah, right. And as you can see there, the sun is totally getting into the solar panel and charging up the batteries, and then going in here. Now the reason why I went with 4x4 areas, so that later on I can expand and no problem I can add 2 more batteries, add more solar panels as well, and then we'll be good to go. And then we start doing our little things here, like putting standing lamps here, like so. Okay. And then after that, we can dig this area out as well, actually. We got a mad animal. A rat has gone crazy. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to change here at this bottom left, change how they react. And I'm going to make it to where they react aggressively, so that if I'm not watching or they kind of walk by them and I don't know, then they'll attack. Having them run away is not necessarily a good idea, because then they will catch up to them and then they'll hurt them as they're trying to run away. More often than not, they are a lot better off at getting themselves killed here. And we're just going to melee. Let's let them attack, see how that goes. It's just a rat. It's just a rat. Come on, hell. Oh, look at the scratch. Asthma. Alright, so now she's actually a little bit beat up. That sucks. At least it pauses it for you, but I kind of think that it doesn't need to pause it for you. If I want the attack to go fast, it should just allow me. Oh yes, nice thing here is that you always begin with the pet, so you always make sure that you train it in obedience. And here, since he is a fox, we're gonna have it train the hall there. Okay. And then the next thing you want to do is that you want to go to architect. And speaking of animal, we're going to zone out the animal area. So we're going to expand allowed area, animal area 1. And then we're going to make sure that he does not travel anywhere crazy. Alright. Like so. We're just going to color off this whole area that he can go into. Like that. Alright. I'm just going to leave it like that for now. And then on top of that, what you got to do is you got to select your animal and then go here and then hit animal area 1 so that they go there and only there. So you can actually double click the rocks and then choose everything, but it kind of chooses too much. So let's go ahead and haul things there. And we need to make sure that the power circuit is connected like that. And that. Cancel that. Okay, so my guy's done mining. Wow, he's quick. He's a quick miner. I like it. Alright, so all the silver's mined out. That's why we have a little extra silver. Let's go ahead and get this silver mined out. We're mining out all the minerals kind of near us because it's just a lot better, a lot faster too. And I'm just going to mine out this area there. Make it look all pretty. That's what we're going to do. And then we're going to put a wall up. Okay. Everybody's sleeping. Everybody's got their own little places. Where's my third person? Wilson. Okay. Wilson, get back here. Get yourself back here. Alright, so now that I got my power up, everything's up. I got my cooler going. As you can see here, you want to make sure you go and check this one. Toggle rooms display so that you'll see how well this place is. Average, beauty, neutral. And then here you want to make sure that you look at this. Outdoors 49 degrees and then indoors 49 degrees as well. Here's blowing out 70-degree temperature. I should just turn this off, but it doesn't matter. I'm not really wasting too much power at this moment. So that's fine. Alright, and build up the wall. Build up the door there. Let's haul these things actually. Get this out of the freaking way. And like I said, that's why you go and put up the haulings, because if you don't, then they won't do it, and it's a freaking pain in the freaking rear. Make sure this ventilation area has a door going to it, because if not, then what happens is that if there's any fires or anything like that, then they won't be able to react. Plus, they may go and attack it, and they'll end up in this area, and then you can actually get somebody in there and melee him up. That would be great. Alright, so the next thing you want to do is make sure that you have your production up. So the first thing you want to do is get the electric stove up here. Get the electric stove, and then after that, get the butcher table. Like so. Alright. And then we're going to make a refrigerated area ASAP. Alright, so first thing here, I'm going to pause it, hit the bill sign. We're going to put cook simple meal, and then when you do this, make sure you do it until you have X. So that they'll always have this much in supply. Like that. Okay? And then we're going to go and make an architect, and then we're going to make a structure, and then we're going to go and make a refrigerated area. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a 9 by 9 area like that. I'm going to pause it real quick as she's flying by doing everything. Okay, 9 by 9 area. And then it'll have its own little cooler. Like so. We'll just do it like this. Okay. So this will be the cooling area. And let's go ahead and deconstruct that, because that's weird, having a campfire in the refrigerator. That's weird. Okay, and then we can zone this area out, stockpile zone. Perfect. And now what we're going to do is have this as a storage area. And actually I built this too close, but that's okay. I can put the solar panels going towards the left here, and that's okay. So the first thing you want to do is not allow the rotten, and you want to clear all actually, and just allow the foods, and also you want to allow the hops in here as well. Okay, those are the two things you want to do. And then you want to make sure that this is the preferred area for the foods. So if you accidentally make another storage area and you forget to tick off the foods, like right here, then at least they'll prefer to put it in there. You don't want to screw that up. All right, and then if you want to get fancy with the spices, and you can, so you can go and put the floors up like this. Waste your time there, but I mean, put up the wood floors like that, so that it'll have that homey feel. And then this right there, we don't want to put concrete. Let's go for the wood floor there in there as well. So like that. Okay, and it looks like I did get my 4-person Miles. Alright, and his social is great, which is what I needed actually. And then animals, oh, there's another thing I needed as well. Staggeringly ugly though, but psychically deaf. Okay, great. Cooking and plant work can't do either of those things. But that's okay, so we can make sure he's working. Make sure he doesn't do anything stupid here to himself. Bed rest. He's a ninja. He can't cook. And make sure that... Okay, I got 1 person for construction. We'll put these at 4 for constructions and repair. And then this guy's not going to do any of that. Make sure this guy always does the mining. And then smithing and tailoring is as good as these guys. Okay, that's okay then. Crafting, hauling. Alright, so now actually this person is a little bit better. So we're gonna change this here. And we're going to make him the hauler. And then after that, we're going to make sure that he will get more of something else. Well, he'll do the plant cutting now. That'll be good. Alright, so plant cutting is important because these trees here can actually be used for structures to hide behind in. And that's really bad. You don't want them to hide behind that. And why isn't he sleeping? I don't know. Well, that's okay. Oh, and I forgot to put the animal area. Okay, animal sleeping box. Who's he bonded to? Chico. Where's Chico? Right here? Okay, so put the animal sleeping box in there. Actually, I gotta make sure it's wood. I don't want to spend steel for that. Wood sleeping box like that. Why is the fox sleeping there? Okay, we got wood tiles. The land is making it along with Chico. Great. Alright, we got the cooler, and then it's defaulting at 70 degrees Fahrenheit, so make sure you put it at least 34, but I like putting it at 30. Like that. So that when they open the door, then it won't ruin the temperature too much. Now what you should do is put double doors. You put one in there and then you put another one, but just for the sake of getting everything going, this is what we want. Now the raid is going to come soon. Now that you have your 4-person, a raid is going to come soon, and I'm really interested in seeing where they're going to be coming from. So let's go ahead and haul these things there. And I'm really hoping that they're going to end up fighting at the south side there, because this is where my big wall is at the moment. Okay. And I got everything going on here. Wood is looking pretty good. And here we go. There's the raid there. And you always want to look at what they're doing. So they're just gonna sit back and wait. But it looks like it's just gonna be a guy with this melee. So the first guy is always just gonna be by himself. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna draft and then just go and kick his butt. Let me make sure I put the ninja to a good area like so. Alright, so the lanch. Alright, we got Chico. Make sure you spread your guys out. Alright. Melee attack. Chico, you get behind there. Wilson, don't get it stupid here. Alright, we're looking good. So the lanch is actually leading the way. And there we go. Perfect. And actually we're gonna have a prisoner. Let's see here. And you always want to take them as a prisoner. Alright, so they're from the Dark Shankers. You want to do is look at the factions. And the Dark Shankers are the pirate band. So that's really bad for you. So we want to make sure that we treat them and then we release them so that they won't attack you with greater ferocity a little bit later on. But actually, this might actually be a good guy to recruit. Let's take a look at his club. It's just a 3, so we're just going to leave it out there. Alright, so we're going to capture him. And this is the reason why we went with having a prisoner bed already. Like so. Undraft everybody. Come on. Capture him. Alright, great. So we captured our first prisoner and possibly somebody that we can recruit. Now the next thing we want to do is make another room here. There we go. Now you don't gotta make it like how I did it. It's just an example, guys. Don't follow me to the T. Get the temperature going, vent like that. And then we're gonna create another little area to sleep in. Like that. It doesn't matter if it's on the outside. I'll just build another wall a little bit later on. But for right now, that is what we're going with. And that came from the left side. So I'm going to kind of direct my defenses a little bit more to the left here. So that it will be out of the way. I'm going to get some defenses here. I'm going to haul all this stuff, chop down all this crazy wood here. There really isn't. So what we're looking for here is when we're setting up defenses is an open area. We do not want to have make it to where they have a place where they can hide behind trees, hide behind rocks and things like that. So we're just going to go and get rid of all of these rocks right there. Sure, it's going to take time, but I mean, it's worth it. Haul all of that stuff away. Alright, and so what I want to do is make sure that they come in this little area. So I'm going to make sure the production, and then I'm going to make the steel right here, like that. Okay, and I'm going to do like that as well. And then I'm going to make it to where it comes out like that. Okay. So I'm making a place where they have a disadvantage at. And when they come and fight me, then they won't be able to have a really good shot at kicking my butt. Alright, so we are going to make this come in a little bit more like that. Actually, what I want to do is I'm going to use this rock face here, like so. Like that, and then I'm going to set up behind here. That is what I'm going to do. And we're going to start making our stuff here. Okay. And there's the refrigerated area. Not refrigerated. Okay, so it's not refrigerated. That's because everybody keeps opening the doors. So we're just going to bump down the temperature so that it gets refrigerated. Right now it's only, what, at 67 degrees? That's not good enough. And like I said, usually you want to do double doors, but really it's just for the sake of speed here. I just did that so that they can start getting going. And so, really, that's about it. Truthfully, there's more to this game, but that'll be more of an advanced guide. Thanks for joining me for the beginner's guide of setting up. Next up, I'm going to do the next bit here, and it will be the next step of building up your defenses and things like that. So thanks for joining me for this beginner's guide. This is the VG Pierce. Hopefully, if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe, like my videos, and I will see you guys next time.